Here's 5 classical records I've picked up recently at thrift shops. Now I'm just going to show you the record covers in the style of a recent video I saw by Michael at Noted in Archive. Maybe if I keep my face off the screen, my view count will go up. And some of you may have noticed 3 of my last 4 record videos were not really about music. They were about politics, and of course the view count was terrible. No one liked it, and I lost some subscribers. Well, what can I tell you? I'm sharing with you what I'm interested in. So let's get back to music. And is there anything less popular than politics? How about classical music? Even less popular. Record number 1 is the one that we're listening to. Gabrielle Faure is a French composer, and these are nocturnes played by French piano player Jean-Philippe Collard. I'm pretending like I know how to pronounce that. Let me mention I'm a sucker for these nice, shiny, glossy album covers. And this one is a gatefold. It's got a nice booklet inside. 1974 release from a French label, a French version of EMI. Just some nice, mellow piano music. And Faure is somebody who I really don't have much music from. So, by the way, these are all thrift shop purchases, averaging about $3 or $4 each. Let's get on to number 2. This is probably the most conventional record on this list. Mozart Piano Concertos, number 17 and number 21 on the Deutsche Grammophon label. Very popular. At least number 21 is a pretty popular piece of music. And actually, it was used in a movie soundtrack, Elvira Madigan, which I wasn't really familiar with. It's a story of a beautiful tightrope walker, circus performer, dancer who got into some torrid love affair that ended badly. So that was a true story that was made into a couple of different movies. And this concerto number 21 was used in the I think it was 1967 movie, and it looks like it may have won some awards. Piano Concertos, Salzburg Mozarteum is the group, and Geza Anda. I'm not familiar with that piano player, but I have been on the lookout for the later Mozart piano concertos, which are all wonderful. Conventionally thought of as between 20-ish to 25-ish. He did something like 27 piano concertos, and the last 6, 7, 8 of them are considered excellent. So this is a good one. I'm not saying it's a world-class performance. Again, got it at a thrift store for a couple bucks. There are more famous performers out there of this work. Okay, now we're going back in time. Henry Purcell, or is it Purcell? Baroque style, one of the most famous English composers of all time. And this is actually a really nice record. Fantasias for violins. I can't read all that Frenchy stuff, whatever language that is. Archive is a great imprint on the London label, specializing in older music like Baroque style. And again, this is a nice glossy gatefold. This is one of my favorite records of the bunch. And Purcell is somebody that you don't really hear that much about, but he's considered one of the greatest English composers. Okay. Bach record. Well, what I didn't tell you was at the thrift store yesterday, I gotta turn on this music. Is it too loud for you guys? Turn it down just a bit. So at the record store yesterday, they had just gotten in a pretty big collection of classical music. All records in great condition. And that's one thing you'll find with classical records in thrift stores. Thrift stores are usually full of junk, but the classical records are usually in great condition. They have plastic inner sleeves, and like these have glossy outer jackets, all in beautiful condition. This record on the Harmonia Mundi label is probably my least favorite of the bunch. This one was probably not that wise of a purchase. It happens to be all harpsichord music, harpsichord with some other instruments. I should have known it was harpsichord, but you know, when a collection of like 40 or 50 records confronts you at a thrift store, you know, kind of in a rush to pick out a few, like, oh, I got to buy 3 or 4 of these, and you know, which ones do I buy? And going back and forth and doing my internet research, I certainly want to increase Bach in my collection, but this one's okay. Maybe I'll give it another listen, but nicely packaged and a fairly rare record since it's on a European label. Okay, last but not least, one of the more bizarre records in this collection, Zoltan Kodai. His last name is pronounced Kodai, Hungarian composer. And these, maybe his only 2 string quartets. I don't know how many string quartets he did. But string quartets number 1 and 2. This is a recording from 1967, I think. A Hungarian label and Hungarian quartet. And I'm kind of a fan of obscure string quartets. The string quartet is a very interesting format because you have only 4 musicians. You don't have a lot of big dynamic changes. You don't have a soloist and an accompanying group. You have everybody with sort of an equal voice, sort of a democracy of 4. Okay, the lead violinist is usually in charge, but still, this is complex music. If you like complex music, if you have a taste for jazz, you might go for something like this, but harmonically and melodically very complex but interesting music. All right, guys, that's 5 classical records from 2 thrift shop visits, and hope we see a lot more classical music on the vinyl community here. And let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.